You ever have a brand that you refuse to wear?
A brand.
Like, I'm never going to wear this. I won't be caught dead in that.
Yes.
Who's yours?
Aeropostale.
I wouldn't be caught dead in Aeropostale.
My mom used to like buy us Aeropostale when we were small.
No, that's not okay.
I would wear like the Hollister hand-me-downs before I was putting on a brand new Aeropostale shirt.
100%. Not doing it.
Like, who's wearing Aeropostale?
I don't know. When I walk by it in the mall on my way to get an Orange Julius, I always wondered the same. Who's buying this?
How is it still open?
How does it still have real estate here in this
Truly.
mall?
Yeah. You don't have one?
I mean, I didn't think I did until you said that. And then I'm like, I don't know if I'd ever. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I don't know.
I got to be honest. I always felt that way about the On Clouds.
Yes.
I'm not wearing On Clouds.
Yeah, I can concur.
I would rather wear Golden Goose. I'm not wearing Golden Goose.
Same.
I'm not wearing Golden Goose.
Okay.
I've been gifted a couple of pairs of Golden Gooses collabed.
Yep.
Mm.
A collab
That's
is
cool,
different.
though. Yeah,
is
I
different.
always feel like what gets me in on these brands that I won't wear, it's a collab.
I would agree.
All of
It
a
works.
sudden, you combined,
I agree.
and now
I feel like there's a leadership principle right there.
ooh.
Collaboration.
Give it to us.
I wasn't going to vote you for being the president, but now that's your vice? There we go. Kidding, I'm kidding. The debate's coming up. I had to say it. But you know what I'm saying? It's the collab.
Yeah, it truly is.
There's some brands that I'm just like, I'm never, like the other day we were driving down the road and I said, boys, have you ever been there? Wiener Schnitzel. Have you ever eaten there?
No,
Never.
never.
Not a single
Stop.
time.
I don't believe you.
No, what?
I don't believe you for 1 second.
No.
I guarantee
You do
Auntie
kind
Anne's?
of,
Find me
no.
with an Auntie Anne's pretzel or something like that. But Wiener
you
Schnitzel?
give off Wiener Schnitzel
kind of
vibes.
do.
Take it back.
You kind
no,
of
I will
no,
not
you-
take it back.
You shop
I
at Aeropostale, okay?
I don't, and I would never, and
I
no
will
one
not
else would
take it
ever
back,
say that.
but we're both saying you're a
You
Wiener
give Wiener
Schnitzel guy.
Schnitzel.
Because you give off corn dog vibes.
Corn dog.
Oh, that's a compliment. What
They're
I love
very
corn
trendy
dogs.
right now. Korean corn dogs.
That's what I'm saying. Korean corn dogs.
The collaboration.
Oh, there you go.
Wait, hold on. The collabs between the Koreans and the corn dogs. Is that your collab?
That's it. Yeah, the whole country. Yeah, old Southern. Yeah. Yes.
Oh my gosh. Not okay. Not okay.
Like there's certain brands that I'm like, I'm never going to like. I still feel that way about Arrowhead water.
See, I love Arrowhead water.
I do too, because it's
Yes,
spring
it's very
water.
good for you.
You guys,
Has great.
It's $2 Chuck. Don't you drink it?
What would you do if I told you right now you're drinking Arrowhead
I
water?
wouldn't believe it. I wouldn't believe it. Is this Arrowhead? That's not real. No. I'm down with a Kirkland
You
signature.
look like an Arrowhead guy.
Okay,
Yeah, it's,
okay.
We just removed the label so you wouldn't know.
This is good water. This is very good water.
Very high electrolytes. Yes.
No, there's certain brands. I'm just telling you, there's certain brands.
Coffee
I'm
bean
like,
and tea is that way for
I
me.
would never
yeah,
in
I
a
agree. I
million
agree.
years. I'm never going to a coffee bean and tea. I don't even understand. When I walk in Terminal 5, I have to go there a lot. American Airlines, we're out of 4 and 5. We dominate. We have 2, 4, and 5. 4, totally acceptable. There's intelligentsia at the end. Great
Whoa.
coffee.
Yeah.
Okay. 5, the only coffee option, really, unless you go to the farmer's market, is the coffee bean. And the line is tremendous. And I'm like, who's going to this?
So true.
Yeah. I don't
Who's
know.
drinking this? I'll have a Pete's coffee.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll have a Starbucks coffee.
Yeah, absolutely.
I would go, and if they had like a little Keurig at the store, I'd get a Keurig before I get a coffie bean.
I agree.
I would rather go uncaffeinated.
You know, I feel the same way about the brand Brandy Melville. Never doing it. Do they sell men's clothing?
They
I was
don't.
Okay,
gonna
well,
say, I was like, you look like a brandy guy.
I think you're in the clear for sure.
Is this something you struggle with?
He can't recover.
I just know that I've been into Brandy Melville with Julia before, and I just always hated the experience.
It is a terrible
I do not like that experience.
And I think most people would agree with you, but they're being canceled, so that was a safe
I know
thing
they're
to
being
say.
canceled right now. That's why it's in my head. Brandy Melville. It's like a TV show right now.
Yeah, they have a documentary on
Yeah,
Hulu.
and I'm like,
yeah.
I never liked going in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They didn't want you in there anyways.
I was like this about Adidas for a long time growing up because I was
yeah.
so diehard
Yeah,
Nike.
yeah, yeah.
It's like, we'll never wear Adidas. Now I'm like, Adidas. I'm wearing Adidas right now. Adidas rules.
It's the same way with New Balance. No
It's
one was wearing
Crocs.
New Balance.
Crocs is like that.
Crocs? Yep.
New Balance is like
Yep.
that. Yeah, just like there's the power of branding.
So true. Coach.
right.
Everyone who's rebranded is doing amazing.
Coach, what do you feel about Coach? Would you wear Coach?
I'm loving Coach.
You're
right
loving
now.
Coach right now, but
Yes.
when you're growing up, you would never touch it.
Would never.
Million years.
You used to could find Coach in like TJ Maxx.
You know what's crazy? Think about this. Do you remember the day when everybody had the gold Michael Kors
Yep.
watch?
Oh
Yep.
my
I used to
gosh.
want one so
Yes.
bad.
I still have 2 of those in Julia's drawer. We both had one.
Matching?
No, it was not matching, but you know, like we both were gifted one or
Yeah,
something. You know,
of
it's
course.
like
Yeah.
the other day I saw it and I was like, dude, these actually look nice.
Yeah.
And we used to wear them.
Literally.
Now, would you wear a Michael Kors watch? If you showed up with
Of
a
course, anything.
if you showed
Anything,
up,
yeah.
I don't know. Michael Kors is he's a cool designer. I don't know. I'm not wearing
Ooh.
it. But I'm just saying, like, could you imagine if today on the pod I was wearing a Michael Kors watch? Where would you go? Would you go like, hey man,
I'd go back to 2012. Like, real
like I
fast.
should just grow my bangs
would-
back out?
No, I'd be like, what's the rest of your haul from Marshall's?
It's so insane. There's just certain things I'm not gonna like. I can't bring myself. Like
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do it. I feel that way sometimes. I used to feel that way about like Banana Republic. Like, I can't wear Banana Republic. I used to make fun of Banana Republic for a
Every
while.
Easter you would.
Yeah, every Easter.
Every Easter.
Oh,
'Cause
you did.
It's like a key lime shirt.
Yeah.
It's like
Yes.
it's like a certain look that I'm like, we can't. I don't think you could be successful in Los Angeles and wear Banana Republic.
I would agree with that statement, honestly.
I can't even remember the last time I saw a Banana Republic.
Well, you live approximately 7 blocks from one on the 3rd Street Promenade.
Is there one on the promenade?
1,000%.
Well, that makes sense
It's at the
because
end of it, though.
Everyone at the Palisades is wearing Banana
Okay,
Republic.
okay.
They're
okay.
keeping them in
They're
business.
Yes.
keeping them. Yeah.
Yes.
Again, with like Aeropostale, who's keeping these people in business? Then you meet somebody, and you're
Yeah.
like, you're,
Makes sense.
you're the
It
one.
actually fits you.
You're the one wearing the Michael Kors.
I don't know that I've ever met someone who I'd be like, oh, you're keeping Aeropostale in business.
Well, I'm keeping Wiener
Who-
Schnitzel.
We know you are. One time I was at, Mike's Deli, close to your house. Love Mike's Deli. I was like, yeah, Mike's Deli is just like, this is my comfort place. And she was like, you know what? Wiener Schnitzel is mine.
Who said this?
The woman working at Mike's Deli.
No.
And I was like, immediately, you are my friend.
Oh my gosh! By the way, shout out to Mike's Deli. Mike's Deli
Truly.
had it on Sunday. It doesn't miss.
Unbeatable.
Few
I've never
places,
been, yeah.
What?
few locations in LA, but we shout out to Mike's Deli.
Yeah.
Regardless, one of the brands that you will always want to be associated with is Leadership Lean In. Let's go. Like Chad, you're not a brand, you're a podcast.
That was good, though.
You do
I feel
pods.
branded, though.
You feel brand me, son.
You
okay. I want to welcome everybody back. This is our I don't want to call it a show because it's just a pod. This is our little tribal community called Leadership Lean In. We are a group of leaners. We're leaning into the subject matter is leadership, and we're trying to get a little bit better as leaders. So we've concluded it would be quite impossible, literally impossible for us to promise perfection. We're going to stay away from that. But a deliverable today is progress, as promised progress. So we're jumping in. Let us know in the comments, where are you leaning in from? Indiana, Iowa, Australia. We had some friends from
Yeah.
Australia
Yeah, we did.
this Sunday. I'm just trying to go through my geography here. Maybe Michigan. Maybe one of the greatest cities in America, Chicago. Wherever you are streaming in from or leaning in from, let us know. We love you. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Move the needle on YouTube, guys. We're very excited. The YouTube is just exploding. That's a face statement. But we love you. We're jumping in today. We're talking about 3 leadership essentials.
Okay, we're going to take a quick break before we jump into this episode of Leadership Lean In because we want to tell you about a really special book coming out. In fact, Pastor Chad's new book, I think that it's the best title of all the
It's
books
the
so
best
far.
title.
I bet you think this book is about you. I want to sing it.
No, so when first he was writing this book, it was named something different.
Yes.
And when he proposed this title, I was like, oh yeah,
It's really good.
that's the one.
It is really good.
If I saw this book in store, I'm like, I need to read that.
Yeah, in fact, you don't have to wait for it to be in store in order
True.
for you to pre-order it. Go to Amazon, Target, pre-order the book right now. And we're doing something we've never done before.
Yeah, we are.
We're going to be, remind me the dates. I don't want to get it wrong, but we're going to be at Barnes & Noble for book signing.
We are. So October 15th, Pastor Chad's newest book, I Bet You Think This Book Is About You, is out. And we're going to be meeting that night, 7 p.m. at the Barnes & Noble at the Grove.
Yes.
A signing. Come bring your book. You can buy a copy online that you've pre-ordered, or you can buy a copy there as well. He's signing, taking photos, having quick conversations. It's going to be an incredible event. It's so exciting. I don't know, have we ever done something like this?
I don't think we've ever done anything like this at a Barnes & Noble's.
And at the Grove. The Grove is an iconic Los Angeles location.
It is. If you just come to the Grove, that would be amazing. But we're doubling down.
Yeah.
Teacher Madi, she might even sign Teacher Madi in a book. Who knows?
Yep.
There's so many. She just has a stamp at this point. But pre-order it. We'd love to see you at the book signing. It's going to be really special. Let's jump right back into this episode.
We're jumping in today. We're talking about 3 leadership essentials. 3 things that are so important that you consistently have in your leadership. And I want to tell you, it is all about your head. We're going to talk about that, your heart and your feet. So I'm talking about head, heart, and feet. And the first thing that you need is, I call it information. If you're going to be a leader, you have to absorb an insane amount of information. I always think if you want to say good things, you got to put good things in your brain. Mm-hmm. So just the constant quest of information, the thirst, the desire to learn, the posture of a student rather than posturing as an expert. I like that idea. I'm in question and some responses because I don't have all the answers. So I just think everything starts with, to me, how much information do I have? Before I make decisions, I got to have information. So just if you're going to lead, just go down this path of student. I am not expert. I am not leader as much as I am student. I am learner. I am observer. And I'm always trying to find stuff out. I'm always trying to figure it out. I think the reason why we have so many people listen to Leadership Lean In is because we have so many leaders that are going like, I love to talk about this.
Yeah, that's right.
I love to learn about this. And I think here's what I just want to start today with. Knowledge is power.
Yeah.
You've got to become the smartest. You've got to become the sharpest. Well, you can't do that without reading, listening, learning. Go to the conference, get the ticket. By the way, Pastors Gathering is coming up in a couple weeks. Go to Pastors Gathering, get in the room, get around, expose your life to the best, because I need information so desperately. And when you're a leader, you understand like, man, I've got to learn about politics, education, prison reform, pop culture, tech space. I just need to learn about everything. For me, I teach the Bible. I can't read it enough. I can't study enough. Can't learn enough. I need so much information to get here. And this to me is the great demand of being a leader, is the desire to learn.
That's right. Yeah. Leadership is so interesting because it's not a science. It's more of an art. And information is what inspires you to lead at a higher level. Yeah. And because you're dealing with people, you can never learn enough.
Yeah.
You don't like, I got these amount of skills and this information, now I'm good to go.
Yeah.
Because people are always changing.
So true.
The information, the tactics, the systems, how to be the best leader, that's always shifting as well. And so seeking that out is a must for any leader. You have to do it.
Yeah, I've talked before, I think, about like this concept of being a lifelong learner.
Yeah.
And it's not just about like learning new things all the time. Sometimes we have to learn the same thing, but it being said 1,000 different ways for it to really lock in.
100%.
And for us to really process it and be able to then execute it.
I'm hearing it at a different version of me.
Yes.
I'm hearing it in a new iteration, a new season of me. It's like earlier today, we had the great Bianca Olthoff here at the office, and Julie and I had lunch with her here, and she's just the best. Shout out to the Father's House, TFH, the Father's House, Orange County, TFHOC. That's a lot of letters.
It is.
We just only got 3 around here. ZOE, LLI. We stop at 3 around here.
We do.
TFHOAC. Okay, so anyways. We were talking earlier about a number of years ago, I went to Lisa TerKeurst's writing boot camp, how to write books. She's the New York Times expert. She's I don't know how many times she hit New York Times bestseller. Well, I flew out to Charlotte with my agent, my literary agent, and we sat with her and like 7 or 8 of her team, and they sat down a whole day showing us how they write books, their process, their system that they've developed. So they have a whole system on writing books. And so we went through titles and we went through chapters and so on, branding, all of it. And she's like, did you love going through that? I said, oh my gosh, that was 4 books ago. And thank God, because I learned so much through that. And she said, would you do it again? I said, well, that's such a good question. I would give anything to go do it again because I'm different.
Yeah.
Right.
So that information I was hearing at that time, I don't even know how it was hitting me. Now, 4 books later, I'd love to hear this. And I go, I'd love to hear the same content.
Yeah.
Right.
The same exact message, the same exact thought.
Yep.
I'd love to hear it now. I think when you're a leader, you kind of understand, I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And isn't it interesting? My wife can say something to me and I might not process it, but someone else could say the exact same thing to me.
Yeah.
And that information lands for whatever reason.
Man.
Like, all of us have blind spots where we think we hear something, I don't need that.
Yep.
But it's just maybe a different voice saying the same thing will hit you in a different way.
This is why I think like journaling is so powerful.
Yeah.
You can look back at yourself a year ago, 6 months ago and be like, wow, I was processing that so interesting then. I would not process it the same way now.
100%.
And not only that, you get to see the growth. You get to see, the lessons you've learned and applied.
Yeah.
Because one thing about being a learner is it's not just consistently learning, but checking yourself. Have I learned or have I applied what I've learned since the past season?
And I think, I want all the information. When you're leading an organization or leading a team, it's like, I want all the intel.
Yeah.
There's so much going on around you that you don't know about.
That's so true.
That's just the bottom line. If you're leading, there's a lot going on that you do not know about. I need information.
Yeah.
It's like Monday morning reporting. I love to go through the reports and look at what's going on. I love to get the emails of like, this is where we're at with the college. This is where we're at with the music. This is where we're at with the attendance, the kids, the parking lot. All that information helps me. It's data points.
Yeah.
That's right.
It helps me make decisions. And the more power, the more knowledge I have, I always think insight gives you foresight.
So true.
If I've got the insight that I need, I can make decisions. So the way that leadership starts for me is I got to get it here first. It's got to get into my head. It's got to get into my mind, but it cannot stay in my head. I've got to let information become inspiration.
Wow.
This is a big deal. How do you, as a leader, stay inspired?
Wow.
I think this is one of the biggest keys of leadership is like most people go to sleep on the job. Most people just going through the motions. I'm always concerned when I'm barely getting the bottom line, just the baseline out of a leader, you've lost your inspiration. Andy Stanley talks about this. He talks about how vision leaks.
That's right.
Vision, corporate vision leaks, but so does personal vision.
Wow, yeah.
People have that moment, that burst, that meeting, that whatever, that clarion word, that whatever. And they're like, that only lasts for so long.
Yeah.
So how do you stay inspired? I feel like my cheat code personally to keep my life inspired has been the road. Every time I go somewhere and every time I preach out, every time I go in a different setting, I don't know why it just inspires me.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. It's something about getting on that plane, getting in that room, getting with those people. They're excited. They're fired up. I'm seeing new ideas. I'm seeing fresh content. And I come back inspired. If I just stayed in my context, in my world, I would not be nearly the inspired leader that I felt like I have been able to lead with.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the whole thing about leadership is if I'm not burning, you will not burn. If I'm not inspired, you will not be inspired.
That's right.
If I'm not excited about something, you will not be. So how do you let this stuff go from here to here? That is the key. I got to get stuff in my head, but I got to get more in my heart.
Yeah.
Because leadership is a heart issue. Lead with your heart. I always think it's throw your heart over the line. Throw your heart into what you're doing. And anytime your heart is held back, that is an indicator that you are not well or things are not okay and that there's something going on. But if I can throw my heart over the line, it means I'm inspired.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really good. How do you said the road, how do you go on the road, see something? How does it become an idea instead of maybe like a resentment? oh man, these guys do this so well. I wish we, how do you stay away from that attitude?
Well, I think that, it would just be a frustrating place to live life from that vantage.
Yeah.
They're so great. I could never.
Yeah.
A man is ensnared by his own words. So I like to look at it from you're the best at doing it now, but I'm going to work hard and hopefully I'll become the best at that.
So good.
I'm inspired by the way you guys do hospitality or creativity or music or emceeing or whatever. Fill in the blank of what you saw that was inspiring to you. Take it home, replicate it. God gave you eyes, laser eyes. Just how do you make it? But guess what?
You can see it for yourself.
You do it. Yeah. I always think you can't have it until you see it. Once I see it, I can achieve it.
It's really good.
So that's how vision happens, is having a model, having an example, and being inspired by stuff, not defeated by stuff.
I think a piece of that is also like having the passion for what you're being inspired for. So like, for example, Mia, someone we work with, went and saw another kids church just to like observe and learn. And instead of being like, oh, we're in our new building, we're not there yet. Or oh, she came back and was like, I'm so excited to implement X, X, and X. Because at the end of the day, she has a passion for the kids that she works with.
Yeah.
So it's like when you're on the road, it's like, I have a passion for just the church at large and the church in general. And so I can pick out the things that are your strengths and then make them feed those into my vision.
Yeah. And I think that, you don't want to become anybody else.
Yeah.
Right.
So I never feel like, I got to do what they do. I want to make it work within my context.
Yes.
I always feel like I'm going shopping. I'm going like, I can't wait to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Ooh, what are they doing that we're going to bring back and we're going to share? And, I always want to bring a souvenir back for the kids, but like, what's a souvenir I can take and adjust my leadership? Or,
And I think, let's just talk about inspiring humans. Let's talk about inspiring individuals. The only people that inspire us are people that are doing something.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're not critics. They're not shame contenders.
That's right.
They're not people that are just throwing their opinion, calling people out. They're people that are laying their life down to do something.
Yeah.
It's like I'm inspired by that. I want to live an inspiring life. I'm inspired. You went up against those circumstances. You went up against that problem. You went up against that culture or that whatever, and you were able to carve out service.
Mm-hmm.
We're inspired by people that are doing something that would cause our life to want to be raised to another level. That's what it's about to me, is don't just live heady.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's kind of like a sponge to me. A sponge can only absorb so much from the faucet. It has to be taken out and wrung out for it to even be ready. So I feel like, how do I take information and apply that stuff out, get all that inspiration here? And then here's the last one today, is it's got to land in application. So I go from information, I know a lot, but it moved me into like, whoa, that made me cry. That made me feel something. That made me passionate. That made me enraged. That moved me.
Yeah.
Heart stuff.
Yeah.
Head stuff, heart stuff. This is so leadership to me. What's in my head drops into my heart. That's why I really have to focus on what do I put in front of my eyes and what do I put in front of my ears, because the stuff from my head drops here.
It's really good.
So if I don't protect that, my boys are like, Dad, why can't we watch that? I'm like, homie, trust me.
Yep.
You can't handle all that in your head. It's going to mess with your heart.
Yeah.
So I got to protect your eyes. It's my privilege to protect your eyes and to protect your ears, because I know I want to produce a quality heart in you, or to help carve that out, develop that. So leadership to me is like, I'm really intentional. I'm really deliberate about my eyes and my ears, because that will help me guard and develop a right heart. And that inspiration, when it lands, it gets into my feet. And now I got application. Oh my gosh. This to me separates the men from the boys, the good from the great. When you can apply stuff, most leaders struggle because they know so much and they do so little.
Wow.
But they tell you all the stuff to do.
Yeah.
But it's like, okay, so hold on. Everything you just said, do you do that? Well, I got stuck in Bernie Mama. Oh. It's like, whoa. If you know so much,
Yeah.
why don't you do that stuff? That's the biggest challenge of leadership, is applying what I know.
Hey, we want to take a quick break from our Leadership Lean In content to shout out one of our favorite sponsors, Mosh Bars.
Yeah, we love them. I actually heard a rumor that
Okay.
they have not only a new look, but they have a new formula. Nate, tell us about this new formula of Mosh Bar.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first, I love the cookie dough one.
Yeah, it's so good.
And now they have this ingredient called Cognizin that helps with your brain health.
Wow.
And it's absolutely amazing for a protein bar. It's one of those bars where you eat it and you think you're cheating, but
It
you're
is
not.
that. You're
It is
never
so
cheating.
good.
And there's 8 flavors.
Yes,
I love the variety of flavors. They have fruity ones, they have chocolatey ones.
they have plant-based
Yeah.
varieties as well.
No, but we want to make sure that we give you the offer they've given us because we love Mosh Bar. We're using this. We want you to use it. We want you to love it as much as we are. So I'm just going to read this directly because we do not want you to miss out on any part of it. So if you want to find ways to give back to others and to fuel your body and your brain, Mosh Bars are the perfect choice for you. Head to moshlife.com/LLI to save 20% off plus free shipping on the Best Sellers trial pack. That's 20% off plus free shipping on the Best Sellers trial pack at moshlife.com/LLI. Thank you, Mosh, for sponsoring this episode.
Oh yeah, by the way, they were on Shark Tank. I'm not gonna spoil anything.
You need to
gotta,
go watch.
Yeah, you gotta go watch it. You gotta check it out.
Yeah.
But we're gonna head back to our Leadership Lean In content. Let's go.
The biggest challenge of leadership is applying what I know.
Yeah.
Where do you think that disconnect is?
I think that disconnect is in all of our life, and it's trying to close the gap to apply all the stuff that I know is right and good and true,
Yeah.
and principle driven and values and wait, but I got hard stuff in between, emotions. So I got to apply the right stuff. I got to get my life to apply. It's like, you know, it's this is the mundane of leadership. This is the boring stuff. This is the everyday. It's the compound of consistency. It's the 1% better every day.
Yeah.
I was trying to talk about this recently about taking steps towards freedom, steps towards growth, steps towards becoming a better leader. I know so much. Why? Because I consume and I got a good heart and I'm inspired. Okay, great. It's got to get into your feet.
Yeah.
And just 1% you get. Because the thing about leadership is so much like life. There's no 10-pointer.
Right.
There's no 10-pointer. There's no thing that's like, I don't believe in the leader. It's like, this is going to change everything.
Right.
Yep.
Like for us, in our context, we just moved to this building and I never once thought, this building is going to change everything. Nope. Same problems, new context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Like we still going to have the same team leads, the same issues, the same systems, the same strategies. You're just in a different context. So I want to apply all the stuff that's going on here and here in the right way because Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built daily.
Yeah.
Greatness doesn't happen in a day. It happens daily. What episode are we on today? 175. What, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Week by week. Was that the best leadership leading you've ever recorded? Nope. It was just the next one.
Yeah, that's good.
Make your next thing your best thing. Just try and get a little bit better. And I've got the information and I've got the inspiration and I'm doing my best to apply. I know I should eat healthy. I know I should go to bed early. I know I should drink more water. I know I should floss my teeth. I know I should save my money. Like, all this stuff.
Yeah.
What can you apply?
Yeah.
That's the key separator. Why do you think most people can't apply it?
I don't know. I'm trying to process, like you're saying, sometimes it's emotion, sometimes it's is the heart the determining factor? When it comes into your head
Yep.
and then you process it into your heart,
Yep.
is it like what stops from moving the next step?
What is the preventer of action?
Yeah. Which is where my brain, I'm like, what
That is
what
the-
is the preventer of action? Is it a lack of discipline? Is it, for lack of better words, laziness? The work
Yeah.
feels too challenging?
Yeah.
Is it,
I think part of it, maybe it's not the total answer, but I think part of it is most people are just so satisfied with knowing.
yeah. Wow.
They're just so like I know. And so it's like, I feel like I did it because I know it. But knowing and doing are
True.
Yeah.
they're two different things.
Totally.
I also think the power of habits are really powerful.
Yeah.
So to change a habit,
Oh,
it takes 21 days to form a habit.
Yeah.
So how much longer does it take to lose a habit?
Yeah. Not a long time. They say about a week.
Really?
Yeah. Between 3 and 7 days is you lose a habit.
you can rewire
Wow.
it because it's rewiring. It's all software. It's rewiring your brain.
Yeah. I think part of it too is a lot of leaders who have big vision, it's difficult for them to get down into their hands.
Down and dirty.
Easy
Wow.
to go like, hey, we're going to go, we're going to go climb the hill, but they have no idea like, oh, we got to get this gear and we got to get into the details. And so there's even a level of like someone else in the organization, as long as I can tell them where we're going, they'll figure it out. But that's the lie.
Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
You actually, all of us have to take really practical next steps, and you'll only be the leader for so long that you're in front or you're able to guide people. But pretty soon people will pass you because you're not willing to do the work or, to get into the minutia of it. But at least for me, that's the easy part is the big stuff. The small part is like, oh, wait, so what email program do we need to download to send out all the emails?
Pieces.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I think that is the real problem. The real problem is it's in the devil's in the details.
It's the details, yeah.
And it's the hard stuff. It's the application of just going like, most people will tell you today, I know I should be. But the blocker, the preventer of doing is fascinating. It's a mystery.
Yeah.
Wait, you're so smart. You're so talented. You know so much. Why can't you just do?
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep. I was talking to someone and they're like, most of the time I don't know what to do, but the fact that I've made a decision that led to action at least gives me the data to go, this is the right or wrong way to go.
And that's what I'm saying is like, it's not one of these three, it's all of them.
Yeah.
I need an exuberant amount of information about what I do. I need to learn more about my craft and my world and creating community and discipleship, all the stuff that I do. I need so much information right now about all of it.
Yep.
And I got to stay inspired because if I just have knowledge, but I don't have passion, who cares?
Yeah, that's really good.
Right.
I mean, I got to take all this stuff and wait, the hard part's coming.
Yeah.
I got to apply it. That's so hard. That is hard.
Yeah, it is.
It's just kind of easy just to stay where I'm at.
That's right.
Yeah.
And just observe and just watch the world go by and just watch things change and watch things evolve. But it's like, to me, you use the word laziness. I went by the house of the sluggard. He couldn't lift his hand out of the bowl. He'd tell you everything. He can't do anything.
Wow.
To me, it's about all three, not one, all three. I want to be insanely inspired and I want to be inspiring as a result. I want information. I thirst after knowledge. I want to apply. Like I got up this morning, I drank my coffee, I read my Bible, I made my to-do list. I went to bed last night at 9:15 p.m. I live a very boring life. This is just the stuff I have to do personally to be the best version of me.
It's really good.
Does that make sense?
It does.
It's information, it's inspiration, it's application, it's head, it's heart, it's feet. You're a leader. I'm a leader. Let's go do our best.